Exactly the squad that we would expect Brazil to open up with in their Copa America run. But there are several starters out there. And there are also some players who are going to be trying to convince Dunga that they do deserve to play.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Phil. Good evening, everybody. Looking forward to a very entertaining match between two sides, obviously preparing for big tournaments ahead. I think the pressure is on Brazil big time to do very well and have a successful Copa America tournament, which we're all looking forward to watching. But also Honduras, the last time these two teams met, came very violent into the match. It was a friendly game in Miami, but the aggression in that game was incredible. I expect much of the same. This is a Honduras side that is very dangerous to Dunga and his unbeaten run since he's become Brazilian manager.
Well, not just unbeaten, but all of a sudden starting to score goals in bunches. Jorge Luis Pinto would be glad to have a few of them, although they have started to find the net themselves. RFK Stadium, a victory over El Salvador just a few days back, and actually led twice against Paraguay, only to see that one end in a draw in Asuncion. One more friendly for them coming up at the start of July against Mexico in Houston, and then they will take on the U.S. to start Gold Cup play. But that is for Honduras. For Brazil, obviously, focused in on the Copa America. Argentina coming in probably as the favorite. Brazil cannot be that far behind, along with the hosts Chile and the upstarts Colombia. Brazil would like to go in on a positive note here today. Gorgeous surroundings right along the Guaíba River in Porto Alegre. Had been pouring just about a half hour ago. Temperature dropping rapidly. In fact, right now it's in the mid-60s. And there's still a few wind gusts coming from the south. And again, in Brazil, in Porto Grande do Sul, in Rio Grande do Sul, there's not much further south you can go until you start hitting penguins. Lots of canary yellow in the stands here today. Dunga and Jorge Pinto underway. The bicolores. Honduras in their white and blue with that big H on their chest. Brazil, well, used to seem to play like they had an S on their chest, although, as we saw in the last World Cup, there's some kryptonite out there. And just as we say that, the giveaway to Andy Najar, the ex-DC United youngster, taking a shot from long range that twists wide.
What a poor giveaway that is to start the game from Miranda. Early on into the match, the last thing you want to do is give away simple possession like that to a dangerous player like Andy Najar. Wonderful talent from Honduras.
Came up from Choluteca, but moved to Alexandria as a youngster. Played at Edison High School before joining DC United's youth ranks. Did so well, off to Belgium and Anderlecht, and he's still just 22. Here's David Luiz. You'd figure these two central defenders looking to prove themselves. When Thiago Silva 100% healthy, you'd expect him to be out there with the armband. And obviously paired with David Luiz at PSG, it's probably Miranda that has more to prove on the night.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, big time opportunity for Miranda, obviously. David Luiz, Thiago Silva, the more common centre backs that will represent Brazil going forward into the tournament. So Miranda has an opportunity, certainly will be called upon at some stage throughout the course of the Copa America. Started a little sloppy today. Another bad pass.
Ball driven in. Ryan Bekeles, the right back out of Boa Vista. Jorge Luis Pinto, the coach, guided Costa Rica to a best ever quarterfinal performance. In fact, you could say, at least based upon the expectations, Pinto and Costa Rica had a much better World Cup than the hosts Brazil. Third minute, and you can see some of the rain continuing to spit down. A lot lighter than it was just moments ago. Here's Willian. He is on the right. We've seen him at the left a bit in the absence of Neymar, who is on the bench today and expected to play. but instead starting with the youngster Fred. No, not that Fred. This is the one from Shakhtar Donetsk, who plays on the wing, but today on his off foot. Here's Miranda. Fabinho, just his second appearance, showing some jitters there. Debuted for Dunga against Mexico just a few days ago. And you'd figure he is still in the running for time, but Danilo expected to be the starting right back. No Dani Alves, no Marcelo. Injuries playing part of those roles. Thiago Silva also out. Diego Alves, the Spanish-based goalkeeper, also missing the tournament with a serious. So Jefferson will be the man. Here's Willian. A little Dovaka as he dribbles around the Celtic-based Izaguirre.
Yeah, lovely touch. That's going to be an interesting battle between the two. Izaguirre, a fine player, loves to get forward, also aggressive into the challenge. I think Willian will pose a threat going forward. He looks like he's on form tonight already. Some nice touches on the ball.
Again, taking a look at this strong challenge to try and take it away from Casemiro. Expected to be Jefferson in goal, obviously. Fabinho, Miranda, Luis, and Felipe Luis, the back four. Casemiro and Fernandinho behind a midfield three of Fred, Coutinho, and Willian, and Roberto Firmino. An attacking midfielder by trade at Hoffenheim, but being pushed to the front line today. Meanwhile, for Honduras, keep an eye on the number 5, the youngster Henry Figueroa. Ball knocked back. Looks like he's going to be playing a bit more in the midfield. Strong challenge by Palacios. It carries across the goal line, and Fred's arguments will not win. It's a goal kick. If Figueroa plays in the midfield, it will be the standard 4 in the back. Bekeles on the right, Izaguirre on the left, Leveron and Palacios in the midfield. If he slides into the midfield, expect it to be a bit more of a Christmas tree with the Houston Dynamo-based Luis Garrido and Brian Acosta, and then Boniek Garcia and Andy Najar on the flanks, and Anthony Lozano up front. It will be a defensive lineup for Honduras regardless. Passion on display at the Jose Pinheiro Borba, one of the scenes of the World Cup in 2014. Not a pleasant memory for Honduras. More on that later.
Quite well organized so far, Honduras. Certainly putting some pressure along that back line from Brazil as they tried to play from the back four. It's not happening so far for them. They're not having much joy. That's a good ball forward.
Trying to turn Najar, dragging Fabinho with him. Good cross to the middle, chested high in the air, and no chance that was coming down for Boniek Garcia. Headed away, some nervous jitters, but slammed back upfield. Ball getting a bit away. Felipe Luis upended as Boniek maybe taking some revenge. We've seen Garcia for years, most recently with the Houston Dynamo, one of the most talented players that Honduras has ever produced. Ball laid back, snuck into the middle. Nice hustle by the youngster Lozano. Slams into Casemiro, and out it comes the other way. Soft touch. Fernandinho off the give and go.
Maybe a little payback right there from Felipe Luis on Boniek Garcia. Not too happy with the challenge just a moment ago, but the pressure's all on that man's shoulders right there. Or does he even feel the pressure, Phil? I guess that's the question. The team has started fantastically under him. Being successful in every friendly game. Heading into Copa America, it's not a bad way to go in. Confidence is flying high, a lot of weapons at your disposal. Should be an interesting tournament for the Brazilians.
Casemiro laying it back, slammed upfield. They obviously should be more focused as that long-range blast sails well wide. Coming in as heavy favorites, Izaguirre having a go. But Brazil embarrassed before it was all over. Of course, remember the two pictures, David Luiz consoling James Rodriguez in one match, and then just a few days later needing consoling himself. Down goes Fabinho. Oversteps the referee Vargas.
It's another strong challenge. Late tackle coming in from Izaguirre. I remember what I said to you the last time these two teams met in Miami, a 5-0 win for Brazil. It was a very aggressive match.
Intercepted in the midfield off to the near side. Nahar comes back to win it, and then he gets taken down. So far it appears to be a rather busy day for the whistle of Gary Vargas, the referee. It is a Bolivian crew. Wilson Arellano and Edwin Paredes running down the lines as the ball bounces into Jefferson. You'd expect this would be a match that Honduras would not be looking forward to, other than the chance to test themselves. But they actually have beaten Brazil in one of their 6 encounters and drawn them in another, and it was the Copa America in 2001 where they did it, knocking them out in the quarterfinal stage by a 2-0 scoreline. That was a strange Copa America, Ian. They didn't even show up until hours before the tournament started, when Argentina dropped out late.
Yeah, I think history goes to tell you that there is some competitive spirit between these players, and of course the two countries as well. Don't forget the Olympic matchup at St. James's Park in Newcastle was a terrific performance from the Hondurans, and they narrowly lost to the Brazilian team. It was a terrific matchup. A number of those players from that team playing today.
Roger Espinosa, not one of them, not called into this lineup by Jorge Luis Pinto, but when he exited that Olympic game, it was to a standing ovation. Give you an idea how well Honduras played on the day. Nice little touch to Coutinho. Breakout year at Liverpool this year, and showing against Mexico, he's ready to do it for his colors as well. Fabinho. William got away, trying to win Fernandinho, but nice takeaway. Lozano, he's pulled down by Miranda, but the referee right there says play on.
Yeah, it's the correct decision from the referee just to play on. Don't think there was too much into the challenge, but well played. Lozano breaking through. Very well organized and disciplined back four, with the midfield sitting right in front. Often at times you see it's a back five for Honduras. Pinto has his team incredibly well organized today.
It was defense and opportunistic finishing that lifted the Ticos to success. Ball poked free. Trying to dribble his way through Boniek Garcia. And yes, he was named after that Boniek. Nice into the middle. Tries to control, help out wide. And Garcia sends it out for Bekeles. The return pass, Garcia to the box, tries to cross, deflected away, and straight to Fernandinho. Head held high. Coutinho looks right. Here's William. Spots the run of Firmino. Out wide, though. Tackled away nicely. Izaguirre up to Nahar.
Yeah, some poor passing from the Brazilian players so far early on into the match. We're only 11 minutes in, and the number of passes that have been given away, very disappointing so far from Brazil. And again, I go back to it. It's well organized back four, often at times back five from Honduras, that will frustrate Brazil, but they will get their opportunities once they start knocking the ball around.
A little too firm on that challenge. Coutinho taken down. Apologies from Garrido. 5'6", but he packs a wallop. 12 minutes in. Good look at Valladares. 38 years of age. Well, 38 and a month. Rain picking up in intensity again. A little too far away for a shot, but it is David Luiz. Actually, no, William over to take this one. Again, tomorrow, the 44th edition of the Copa America getting underway. Chile, Ecuador, right here on BN Sports and BN Sports in Espanol. Brazil will have a bit longer to prepare. Their opener, June 14th against Peru. Coutinho on the turn. Caresses it forward, back into the middle, and touched, deflected into the hands of Valladares. So close from Felipe Luis and David Luis.
Yeah, almost played to absolute perfection. Wonderful pass across from Coutinho, even better header right there from David Luis into the danger zone. Miranda not too far away. And you have to give some credit to Valladares. Stands up, patiently waits, and the ball falls into his arms.
Not something you'd normally see a coach yelling at his team here against Brazil. Push up, says Pinto.
I think he's right as well. When you look at the opportunities Honduras have had, they've got bodies forward, but not enough when they're in the danger zone. They're sitting back, disciplined and well organized. Defensively, it looks good, but when they have the ball, they have to have more options going forward. So far, it's not enough, but they've started the match incredibly positive.
Long ball forward, out comes Valladares. Quick of feet and quick of mind. Mentioned that match back in World Cup 14 in this very stadium for Honduras against France, their opener where they fell 3-0. Karim Benzema with a couple of goals, and Valladares actually knocked one in himself. Chance to erase those ghosts. Felipe Luis, glancing header. Isaguirre able to control. Firmino, normally a creator, looking to be a finisher here today.
It's good defending again from Honduras. Leveron, the last man, just closing down at the right time. It's very difficult to break down teams that are well organized. They come with a more defensive mind, but you have to give some credit to Pinto and his team. When they do have the ball, they're passing it around very well.
Other attackers available on this team. Robinho, Dunga knows all about him. And Diego Tardelli, who against Mexico showed once again, it looks like he's locked down that starting spot on the front line. Working so well with Neymar, and now he just can't stop scoring. But a chance for Roberto Firmino today to prove that he deserves a shot. Miranda. David Luis. Out wide, Felipe Luis. So-so year at Chelsea. Shined when he had the chance, but didn't get as many chances as he probably thought he would. And there's even some talk that he could be on the move again.
I agree with you, Phil. I think when you look at the Copa America tournament, there's a lot of players going into that tournament using it as the shop window. Felipe Luis probably one of them. He's been terrific in a Brazil jersey when he's got the opportunity, and also for Chelsea, but not so many opportunities coming his way. A little frustrated. He must feel great to get on the field and play again.
And again, with Marcelo's absence, he is likely to start. Although they do have young Jefferson, who's actually calling this stadium his home base out of Internacional, just as his counterpart on the other side, Fabinho, getting his second appearance. Jefferson looking to get his first. Here's Firmino. Cuts to the inside, just enough of a bump. Foul against Palacios.
Well, a great run off the ball from Firmino. Important interception from Palacios, but just mistimes it at the vital moment, making contact more with the player. No question that it's a free kick, and this is a very dangerous position to be conceding a free kick with Willian on the ball.
Still no score, 17th minute. Miranda. Good in the air, but he normally leaves these for Godin back at Atletico. And we've already seen David Luis and his dominance. Willian. About 25, 26 yards out from center on an angle, box high. Two in the wall. Maybe that near post beckoning, but sends it to the spot. Met on the bounce, David Luis the target again.
Well, you can clearly see that Brazil have worked hard on the training ground on these set plays. It's the second one in quick succession and almost came off again. Good run from David Luis just to connect with the ball, but not enough power or accuracy to really trouble Valladares.
Collision sees Bekeles go down.
This is one man I'm looking forward to see play for Brazil tonight. Casemiro. Lovely footballer.
Launched long. Jefferson thought about coming out. Isaguirre pushing forward. Willian having to track. Sneaks the cross in, but well defended by Miranda. Needed to be. But now with them pushing forward, Honduras a little light in the back. Willian, Firmino out wide, puts the brakes on. And back to Fred. Fred also an ex-Internacional player. In fact, won 2 championships before moving on to Shakhtar. Headed wide. Bekeles on that right flank, out for a throw-in. Nice turn. Coutinho tries to drop. Firmino! Slapped away Valladares. He had him dead to rights.
Well, he has the opportunity. It looks like Garrido is the last one to make contact with the player. Right there, that pressure's just enough to push Firmino off balance. And it's just enough pressure to stop him from getting his shot. And enough accuracy to beat the goalkeeper Valladares. A lovely build-up again from Brazil. Great opening, good opportunity.
Willian strong to the top of the 18, but not exactly according to design. Slammed out wide, and here's Andy Najar coming up the right. Felipe Luis slows him down. Quick to the middle, trying to turn Lozano on a pirouette, and he's taken down. A bit of a gift of a foul, but a good call by the ref.
Yeah, I agree with you, Phil. I think it's a good call. It's unfortunate he picks up a yellow card for the challenge as well.
If he gets turned, though, Lozano's in.
Challenge from behind, and that's why the referee's given the free kick. And even if you make enough contact with the ball, if you catch the player over aggressively for the referee's liking, he will always give the free kick against you. It's disappointing to see, but it is a free kick and the right decision from the referee. This is a dangerous position now.
Well, they do have some players that can blast it from long range, but Espinosa's not there. Minor Figueroa's not there either. Looks like it's going to be Isaguirre with his left. Only 1 goal in his international career. But the folks at Celtic Park know what he can do. 25 left in the first.
He does have a lovely left foot. Great opportunity for him on the left foot. It's the right distance as well to really test Jefferson. Can he get it on target?
Jefferson, a solid keeper. Not as spectacular as Diego Alves, but a lot of times coaches like solid. 5 in the wall, and a little swinging door at the end wearing white. It is Isaguirre, and it's into orbit.
Oh, it's a disappointing effort in the end from Isaguirre. Good opportunity. You know what he's trying to do, get it over the top of the wall and underneath that crossbar. Only problem is the ball doesn't come back down.
By the way, still level on shots now with Brazil at 3. Although Valladares has been the busier of the 2 keepers. Looks like it didn't quite clear beInSports.tv, the website where you can find much more information. Don't forget to click on our special Copa America site. Tournament starts tomorrow with our special preview. There's our Twitter handles. Feel free to follow us and share your thoughts. The Catrachos in full voice, although drowned out. The stadium normally holds over 50,000. Although the weather keeping many away. Although, as you pointed out earlier, back in the last time they played in the States, there were over 71,000 in attendance. So Honduras used to the big stage with Brazil. Nice run, but a little too early from Firmino. Keep an eye on him. He's only scored 2 goals for Brazil, but both of them match winners. Against Austria back in November and against Chile back in March. Valladares. Possession 9/10. Boniek, sweet touch. Trying to control Bekeles, keeps it in. No, he doesn't.
Well, it's unfortunate. Disappointing from Bekeles just going forward. Simple giveaway of possession, but good partnership already building on that right-hand side for Honduras as they go forward. Boniek Garcia trying to utilize his pace is something Honduras are going to have to use. He's a terrific player. Got a lot of pace.
Testing Jefferson, poked away from Najar, who's going to have to settle for the throw. Not as good with his feet as Diego Alves, and he almost pays the price. You can't do that to me.
He's very, very lucky. First touch is not too bad. The second one, he just second guesses himself, puts himself into a lot of trouble.
Again, he's the domestic keeper, making his 17th appearance out of Botafogo. In fact, he has played much more than Diego Alves of late. Good control, Acosta. Tambito trying to get it into the middle, and that's where Jefferson thrives. Out wide, Fabinho. This time the run timed well, but well covered.
Yeah,
Looks like they're going to say it just trickled across. Quickly thrown in. Willian, and deflected off the defense. Palacios sends it back to Valladares.
Well, almost catching Honduras off guard. Everybody expecting that ball to still be in play. Brazil thought otherwise.
Collision sees Lozano go down. No sympathy from Gary Vargas. Well, you look at the bench. You think Neymar will be out there. Thiago Silva as well when they open up against Peru. Mentioned June 14th. That's coming quicker than you think. It's Sunday. And again, the tournament starting with Chile, Ecuador tomorrow. Felipe Luis. Out wide, Firmino. Felipe Luis continuing his run over the youngster Figueroa. Inside Firmino. Pocket picked by Acosta. Nice step up by David Luiz. Fans starting to build a buzz. Chipped forward, Coutinho, an acrobatic stop, Leveron. You look at that group. Well, first of all, mentioned the Chile group. Group A, Chile, Mexico, Ecuador, and Bolivia. And you figure it would be Ecuador and Mexico, a second string Mexico, fighting it out for the second spot. Group B, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Jamaica. Jamaica has to be the underdogs, but watch out. Winfried Schaefer knows how to coach in tournaments. Giles Barnes, Boniek and Garrido's teammate. Ball blasted wide and deflected, grabbed by Valladares before it can trickle in.
A terrific skill, wonderful ability. Just look at that. That is absolutely fantastic from Fred. It just takes a little contact of Figueroa into the hands of Valladares, but that is wonderful individual brilliance from Fred. Just can't get a strike away.
Third time that Valladares has been called to the rescue. Laid back David Luiz, Miranda to midfield. Honduras pinching in, almost challenging Brazil to go through them. Out wide for Willian. Little shake and bake on the near side.
Well, you can see the organization already from Honduras. It's a five-man backline. Wing backs are tucking very deep back with three men sitting right in front of the five, making it so difficult. But Brazil are starting to get on their game. They're finding passes, connecting well.
And enough of a push from Acosta. Palacios, or actually Boniek Garcia, screaming it shouldn't have been compared to some of the other tackles from Brazil. Near side, Willian. Overlooks Fabinho, in for Coutinho, fakes the shot, back to his right, bursts into the box. Isaguirre is there. Nice outlet for Najar. He's had a couple of chances, the 22-year-old winger. Cuts inside, but pocket pick Casemiro. Collision goes the other way, and again Brazil quick to start. Willian. Strong challenge, good challenge. Now Lozano, harassed by Fernandinho. Advantage played, nope, just get up, says the referee.
I disagree with the referee here. It looks like it's a little too much aggression from Fernandinho. Lovely skill and close control from Lozano here, but look at this. Little challenge in behind, just catches him on the heel. A little bit of elbow action as well along the way. It is a battle, let's not forget that. They may call it a friendly, but it is 90 minutes of complete football battle.
Sportingly given back by Brazil. That's one thing that Jorge Luis Pinto complained about in Asuncion. The referee there, he thought, let it get a little too physical as well. Nice. Tackled away, Najar retreats. Isaguirre to the middle. Palacios spots the open man. Leveron now. Wave making its way around the Berrillo. Talked about Jamaica and Giles Barnes. I think they could cause some surprises in a group that also sees Uruguay and Paraguay, but Argentina heads and tails favorites to come out of that group, if not win it all. And then to Group C. Maybe not a group of death, but it's definitely going to be the group of the difficult passage. Brazil and Colombia, two of the co-favorites, and then Peru and Venezuela, who both made it to the semifinals last time. Although in some ways they might knock each other out. Be a surprise if anyone but Brazil and Colombia makes it through. Strong run, Willian. Goes around Leveron, blast to the near post, but it's outside of the post.
Well, this is terrific skill from Willian just to nip him behind. Firmino does well, recognizes he may be offside. Willian wants to take it all alone. Strikes it off the upright. It's a good effort as well on that near post. Valladares looks like he's got it covered. Great skill from Willian again.
By the way, something you just mentioned, you don't see it enough. There's just that temptation with the ball in the green grass to make the run. Peeling away created a golden opportunity, and Willian might actually come back to regret not scoring. 30 minutes in, still no score. That might be a surprise. Again, mentioned that 5-0 scoreline in Miami. But recently, was it French Guiana was the first victory, and then El Salvador just a few days ago in the draw against Asuncion. Don't forget, hashtag what I loved. Send in your thoughts to our Twitter handles, and you might find yourself on the locker room and much, much more. Nice from Boniek Garcia.
Oh.
Eludes the challenge of Felipe Luis. There might be a little secretarial work from the referee. Down goes Boniek, and he appears to be hurt.
That's an awful challenge, Phil.
That should be a yellow, and it will be.
I'm not sure I want to watch this one back again. If you look at the challenge after the ball's been played on Boniek Garcia, just look at the challenge right there. He catches him right on the top of the foot. Here's a second look at it again. Very, very lucky. It's a very dangerous challenge. He's lucky to escape with just a yellow card there. Look at his studs go right through the ankle and completely roll the ankle of Boniek Garcia. It's a bad challenge.
I have a feeling Owen Coyle looking on through his fingers at that one. Boniek Garcia, big element if Houston's going to do any damage in MLS this season. This is just a friendly, so you might be tempted to sit Garcia, but it's Brazil, and he doesn't want to come out if he doesn't have to.
Well, I'm not too sure removing the boot is the right thing to do. Once you do that, you allow the blood to get around the ankle area, and then it's very difficult to get your shoe back on. But I tell you something else, that was an over-aggressive challenge from Felipe Luis. Again, maybe a little payback for the earlier challenge, but you could see the studs were showing right into the shin, just above the ankle from Boniek Garcia. It's a sloppy challenge, and very lucky to escape with only that yellow card. The referee should have stopped the game immediately after the challenge instead of giving advantage.
104th cap for Boniek. Given that middle name, it's not a nickname, in honor of the great Polish international Zbigniew Boniek. In fact, his father, a number of Garcias in the footballing ranks. And many of them tie in familial-wise towards Boniek Garcia. Back to Miranda, wide for Felipe Luis. Not a dirty player, but as you said, maybe returning a message and maybe just a bit reckless. Nice off the give and go. Coutinho to Kazmierski, in for Firmino and into the net. Goal! His third. He just can't stop scoring.
Oh, what a goal. Terrific run from a player who's lucky to still be on the field. But that lovely link-up play with Coutinho, the continued run from Felipe Luis is followed by a sublime pass. But what about the finish from Firmino? It is absolutely exceptional. Once he gets there, he still has to do the business. And he comes up with the perfect finish to give Brazil the 1-0 lead. Great goal.
Third goal in just 6 matches. So Leandro Damião does it against Mexico, and Firmino says, I'll do you one better. There you can see no offside. And again, short-handed. And as you pointed out, if this was a competitive match, Felipe Luis might field.
Well, realistically, a lot of referees miss challenges like that. Sometimes, especially in Major League Soccer, you see more often than not the referee producing a red card for a challenge like that. But in the World's game, not so much. A lot of the time the referees miss it. But he's not been sent off, he's still on the field, and he made a massive difference right there for Brazil. Terrific through ball, and Boniek Garcia can't continue here. He's come back onto the field trying to continue. Felipe Luis just apologetically patting him on the back. Here's the challenge again. Just look at that, right on the top of the ankle there. Not too sure if it was intentional or not, but you can see how far the ball's already gone. He's very lucky there, Boniek Garcia. It'll be interesting to see if there is further damage to that ankle.
And that's what he's saying. 3 times they've let him run through. It is a South American ref, although Bolivian, not Brazilian. And they will need to make the switch. Mino brought in to replace Demba Ba at Hoffenheim. Different type of player. If you've seen Ba play, you know how dynamic he can be. But Firmino, with that Brazilian flair, welcomed, although it was a bit of a slow start. Now he's a fan favorite. Good outlet pass, Lozano. And still short-handed, waiting to get the substitute in. Let's see. Play it back, they say. They do finally get it to Valladares. Ball sails Fabinho. Mario Martinez checking in. Fans of the Seattle Sounders know that he can bring some excitement to the table. Also a few headaches. Now back with Real España. Felipe Luis into Casemiro. Turns. Launches it. Willian to Fabinho. Back through Casemiro. Fernandinho. Another player through that Shakhtar pipeline. Coutinho. Difficult ball, but well handled. Strong challenge, but Felipe Luis pirouettes his way out. Trickles across for the throw, and it will be for Brazil. Now Martinez enters. 51st appearance. 4 goals for the 25-year-old. He's Spent some time at Anderlecht, as did Nahar. Then a couple of seasons with Seattle. Last year at Barcelona, but the Guayaquil variety before heading back to Real España. Holding on to it too long. Deflected to the near side, and Honduras throw.
Well, he's another tidy player with a good pace on him. Also a nice touch as well. Very difficult to replace Boniek Garcia, but Honduras need to do something here. Brazil are already starting to get grips with the game. They're knocking the ball around very well. Some lovely passing going on.
Well, now trailing by a goal. Obviously not wanting to get embarrassed again. Trying to work on that defense. But does Pinto loosen the reins just a bit? Let go of the bit. Try and find an equalizer, especially before the break. Nice from Willian. Fernandinho. Laid back by the goal scorer Firmino. Good run Fabinho, but Willian elected not to go that route. Instead, the give and go with Firmino inside. Coutinho back for Willian, but he's offside.
Yep, the opportunity was there to play it first time. Doesn't come from Firmino. And that is disappointing right there. Should have just knocked it first time. Then clearly he was onside, Willian. Disappointing, the ball doesn't come. Correct decision by the linesman.
33rd minute goal, Roberto Firmino. Nice ball, Coutinho. Beautiful run, Felipe Luis, but Honduras was short-handed and perhaps a bit rattled to see Boniek Garcia have to exit. Frustration on the far side from Fred. Nice touch, Martinez. Bekele spun down by Fred, and he might be a bit fortunate he doesn't go in the book.
Oh, Brazil have to be very careful here. They're enticing Honduras into a battle, and you have to be very careful when you do that. You can get over-aggressive, the Honduran players, but at the moment they're trying to play football and get their game going. I'm impressed with what they've thrown at the game so far. Maybe a little rattled with the injury.
Dangerous play as the cleats come up. Brian Acosta paid the price.
Certainly rattled with the goal, that's for sure. It's just starting to get a little heated out there.
Mentioned Roger Espinosa not available, just coming back from a groin strain, staying in Kansas City. Probably watching along with the rest of us. 5 minutes and change, counting injury time, and there should be at least a couple. Coutinho backing away, lifted high into the box. Again, too much for Jefferson, but he handles the bump and punches it clear. Nice challenge and a good step up Leveron. Izaguirre fell asleep though, poked free. Honduras wins it back. They don't count out the comebacks from CONCACAF. We've already seen that happen on the day. In fact, there have been a few surprises in these friendlies leading up to the Copa America. Down goes Bekeles under the watchful eye of Casemiro.
I'm not too sure why Casemiro is chirping back at the referee there. There's no reason to make that challenge. Center of midfield, the ball's already gone.
Martinez with a little back heel flick. Again, he loves to play. Martinez against David Luiz, now double team, drops it back. Bekeles into the middle, well cleared. Casemiro dropping back, and a wasted opportunity. Neymar loosening up as the fans start to buzz. Might be a ways away from Santos, but he is a national icon at the moment. And he'll be looking for yet another championship, a treble in Europe with Barcelona, and now looking to add on a Copa America crown and erase their World Cup bitter taste. Mekeles, Martinez, Garrido. Bit of a pit bull is Luis Garrido, but that time he got bit. Nice run out wide, Fred against Figueroa. Coutinho shows and plucks it away. Actually, that was Firmino dropping back. There's Coutinho to Willian. Rounds his Aguirre, squares! And somehow it trickles through to Valladares.
Oh, great opportunity. Lovely run to the near post, Firmino. Just can't get on the end of the cross. It's almost to perfection. Lovely football yet again from this Brazilian side. They're so dangerous when they counter-attack. Here's a chance for Honduras.
Credit to the Catrachos, probably making it more dangerous than most would have expected. Nice from Miranda. Again, though, a strong step up. Leveron forgot something along the way, did the ex-white cap. Felipe Luis. Looks like Brazil might be content to take the goal to the break. Willian in the middle. And all the way back to Jefferson.
Oh, it's been a good game so far, Phil. I think credit to Honduras. They've came out and tried to play football the right way. Not made it a fight. If anything, the more aggressive challenges are coming from Brazil.
Dropping back Figueroa. Maybe a bit of a gap between that front of the attack and the midfield for Brazil. Dunga marshalling his forces. Well, only 2 less shots for Honduras than Brazil. Good pressure by Fred. Felipe Luis wins it back. A little touch to the middle, Firmino. Martinez fell asleep at the switch, but he might be saved by the whistle.
Yeah, this is a good step up by Fabinho. Wins possession of the ball. Then the foul's conceded right there. All played by the referee to give the free kick as well.
Dunga, version 2.0. The defense still spectacular, but he actually lets them play a bit.
Yeah, it's been not too bad at all in the friendly matches that he has played under his control, only conceding 2 goals. That's a great ball forward.
Chance for Martinez, draws David Luiz, goes around him, a little push in the box. Get up, says the referee. That might be worth another look. Martinez trying to pull the Brazilian trick around David Luiz, who would have none of it. Robinho saying, hey, that's something I would do.
Well, it certainly was close. Clearly, you could see Martinez getting thrown to the ground.
Well, Brazil, since Dunga stepped in, only allowing 2 goals, 1 against Austria on the road and 1 against France on the road. The last match of last year, the first match of this year, but everything else has been a clean sheet for Dunga. Fabinho. Willian to the middle. Fernandinho with space. Fred pinching in. Notice the weaving of that attacking midfield line with Firmino. Isaguirre, a bump. No flag this time. Turnabout, fair play. Both teams have a legitimate gripe.
Yeah, he's a little bit lucky there, Isaguirre. A little bit fortunate. Willian just nips him behind there. It's a poor touch, but right there, contact on the player, nothing on the ball. I think that's a foul. Referee just misses it.
Better claim for Brazil than there might have been for Martinez in the other end.
It's disappointing from Isaguirre because he's right on the edge of the box as well. Very fortunate. Poor first touch. Fortunate not to concede a free kick or even a penalty.
Still no sign on time added on. Would imagine we're getting very close. One nothing the score. Just after the half hour, Firmino scores his 3rd. Lifted wide, Felipe Luis pushing into the attack. Maybe a chance for 1 more from Brazil. Fred in a foot race with Figueroa and commits the foul. Checking his watch. No need to check it twice. Vargas sends them to the dressing rooms. Brazil with the 1-goal lead.
Yeah, good first 45 minutes of football. Honduras came to play the right way, and full credit to them, but it was a sensational goal that we got underway. Firmino gets his goal with the run off the ball. Lovely little through ball from Felipe Luis, who's rather fortunate to still be on the field after aggressive challenge on Boniek Garcia. And here it is, a good look at it again. It's a great run forward, perfectly timed pass, and a lovely finish to give Brazil that 1-0 halftime lead.
Firmino the goal. Honduras some work to do. Halftime in Porto Alegre, and Brazil has the fans happy. Gary Vargas making sure the ball's still round, and now it rolls as Brazil looking to hold on, if not build on a 1-0 halftime lead. One change mandated due to injury in the first half for Honduras, seeing Oscar Garcia exit for Mario Martinez. And there are 3 new bodies out there for Brazil to start the second half. Phil Shane alongside Ian Joy, Jorge Otati, Alejandro Farfan on our Spanish language side. And don't forget Copa America action, which starts tomorrow, available on both BN Sports and BN Sports in Espanol, in both English and Spanish, and in glorious HD. And even if you are a soccer fan, if you haven't watched the Copa America, it doesn't get much more glorious than that. Ball pops up, giving chase off to the far side. Douglas Costa, Thiago Silva, and Neymar, the other substitutes. This one deflects into the middle, and Neymar, well, it's just habit. Referee was looking away. By book, that's supposed to be a yellow, but
well, it's very close. He tries to time it to perfection off the pass. That's just a fraction ahead of play. Good decision by the linesman on the far side.
You could see Henry Figueroa stopping his run when the flag came up. David Luiz coming out for Thiago Silva. Willian coming out for Neymar, and Coutinho out for Douglas Costa. Collision in the back. Casemiro going in strong. Clash of heads as Izaguirre making sure everything's still there.
Well, absolutely rattled Izaguirre in this challenge. There's a good look at it yet again. It's not his head, it's more likely to be the elbow, the inside of the elbow right there. I take it back, it looks like he might have just caught the face. Yeah, right there, clearly proven. Got a bruise to show for it as well. Very lucky to escape there.
So Miranda got the first half alongside David Luiz. He'll play the second, or at least most of it, next to Thiago Silva. What that likely means is he'll be the one sitting out in a few days' time against Peru. Down goes Neymar. Whistle quick to blow.
Oh, nice little introduction to Neymar. Lovely close control of the ball again. Almost as if he invites the pressure with a free kick like that. He's just waiting for the challenge to come in. Now Brazil have to be very, very careful here with Casemiro. He's gone into the challenge. Clearly you can see he's taking one right on the cheekbone.
And again, the danger with that is, even if you look at it and you see some blood, might be more than just a bruise. There could even be a fracture underneath.
Yeah, you got to be careful for concussion. It's not that important.
Meanwhile, from an Honduras perspective, and as I'm sure Brazil will realize in just a few days' time in the Copa America, no time for Honduras to feel sympathetic either. They have a man advantage. They have to take advantage. Heading the wrong way now, Martinez. Putting on a few tricks. Why not? It is Brazil. Douglas Costa, just his 6th appearance. Another part of that Shakhtar pipeline. Still looking for his first goal. Thiago Silva out there for the 55th time. Neymar for the 63rd. Climbing up that scoring chart as well. Blasted low and not by much. Good try from long range from Nahar.
Well, he's got the ability. And how about the strength as well from Andy Nahar? We know he's got so much talent. You've seen him so many times in Major League Soccer. Just pick up the ball in positions like that and then run at defenders. More often than not now in the Belgian League, he's been a real treat for everyone to watch develop. He's getting better and better with age.
Well, still out there. Dunga might want to consider. They're trying to stop the blood. That is, well, again, one of the FIFA rules. And if they cannot stop it, even if it's just a trickle or a show, they'll have to change him. Casemiro says, I'm fine. The referee listening to his assistant on the far side. Edwin Paredes, the assistant over there, and it looks like they're going to have to tape it over. Talked about Neymar, 63 goals. Of course, the legendary Pelé with 92 official goals for Brazil. Ronaldo with 98, make that 62 goals. Neymar next up will be Zico, who might be a bit busy campaigning this year, coming out today saying he wants to run for FIFA president. There's Jefferson, leaning back post, middle of his six. Driven in Martinez, turning shot just wide. So close from Lozano.
Oh, it's not far away. Poor clearance again, right into the back of Firmino. And it almost falls perfectly. It's a good strike as well from Lozano. And he's not far away, Phil, from finding that far corner.
Well, you put those two together. Nahar's just a moment ago. Lozano's there. Could easily have seen two go in for Honduras. Scored against El Salvador. I think one against Brazil might even be a little more fondly remembered. Lozano draws, dishes. Martinez now. Bekeles tries to switch, but hangs in the air. Looks like there's been another change as well for Honduras. Alfredo Mejia checking in. Quick off his line, Valladares. Luis Garrido has come out, and they've stuck Mejia in. Mejia playing his football in Greece. A bit more of an offensive threat than the Houston Dynamo's Garrido. Spent some time at Udinese before heading back to Honduras, and now in his first season in Greece. Jorge Luis Pinto trying to protect himself. Never played professionally, but he's been one heck of a coach. Neymar given some free rein. Kind of makes you wonder where Coutinho fits in when they start playing in the Copa. Out wide, Fabinho drives it across, slight deflection, cleared away by Mejia. Costa. Beautiful back heel, Fabinho into the box, deflected on a strong challenge by Palacios.
I don't think you could get much stronger than the challenge like this from Palacios. Look at this, great skill from Fabinho, and that is a terrific challenge. It looks like he goes in two-footed, Palacios, but clearly winning possession of the ball, not over-aggressive on the player. Good tackle.
Looking for a second to make the fans happy. Neymar, freshly coiffed inside towards the spot. Headed clear, Mejia giving chase. Fred plays a lot on the right side for Shakhtar. Working on the left here today. Looking upfield, Martinez should have looked behind.
Yeah, that's disappointing. Lovely run from Lozano in behind. There's a lot of space with that back line from Brazil so high. And this is disappointing. Martinez just doesn't see the run. Comes inside, it gets the challenge, but he does want a free kick in this area. Brazil have started this second half very positively, Phil. They're trying to knock the ball around, frustrate Honduras.
Nice from Firmino, who's dropped a bit in the midfield with Neymar coming out. This could be the third game-winning goal in his 3 goals for Brazil for Firmino. At the least, a super sub in Chile. Awkward, maybe leading with the elbow though, Casemiro. It's the substitute Mejia.
Well, I didn't see too much in the challenge initially. It looks like he might have just caught the top of the shoulder from Casemiro. Certainly no intention. Not quite sure Pinto's too happy with the referee, and so far his players are getting knocked and bruised all over the field.
Mentioned he had the same complaints against Paraguay. Of course, then again, Paraguay and Brazil gearing up for their Continental Championship. Honduras playing a bit of a friendly. Headed clear. Of course, then again, their next 2 matches, Mexico and the U.S., won't be very friendly there as the long-range shot.
Well, that's it. Preparation
Acosta.
for the Gold Cup is certainly important for Honduras. Clearly, you can see the Brazilians are enjoying themselves out there, and the aggression. I think you're right, Phil. You're only minutes away now from ending your final friendly match before going into that big Copa America tournament and wanting to prove everybody what you can do.
And you talked about
Honduras have got
Casemiro.
so much on their plate right now. If Gold Cup's coming up for them, you know, a lot of youngsters on the field, certainly a lot of names missing from this Honduras lineup that will be at the Gold Cup, but they've got a lot to prove themselves. They've done not bad today.
We talked about Casemiro. Kind of figure Elias might have a challenge in that starting spot as well. So Casemiro trying to show he's ready. And as we mentioned earlier, a man after Dunga's own heart. Bekeles. Stripped away from Lozano, but back into the middle, Martinez. Trickles it off the defense. They'll take a corner as we approach the hour.
Well, it's great experience for Honduras, you know, to continue to try and break down Brazil. Sitting at only that 1-0 scoreline, I'm sure it's more frustrating for the Brazilians than it is for Honduras. They're just trying to chip away back and get an opportunity. They've had a couple, but yet to take one.
Oh, a good chance here, although the height in favor of Brazil. Having a chat inside the referee, the assistant not letting him take it yet. Looks like they might be sending, is it Casemiro off again? No, let's see. Martinez walking away.
You know, they've stopped him from taking the corner kick because of his laces here.
Ah.
And you can see his socks are cut off. A lot of players are doing this.
Well, whipped across, fighting for it, Miranda, back into the middle, Miranda again, and then cleared away Casemiro. Basically what it is, I'm guessing that the official uniform socks may be a little too thick if you want to have those cleats really tight.
Yeah, the biggest problem is you see a lot of referees sticking to the rule book, and the rule book says you're not allowed to wear two-tone socks, but what most people don't realize that these shoes here actually have a sock included in the boot, so it is part of the shoe, and I think the laces that are in this boot are, you really don't need them. And what he's asking him to do is to put his socks further down towards his boot. I've never seen that before.
Well, remember, they actually did monotone everyone, including Brazil, in the last World Cup. I guess two tones is actually a step in the right direction. Cleared away, Leveron, but unable to bring it down. Mejia. Back, 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 says Pinto. Does not want to give up another goal shorthanded. And that, as you point out, exactly the case. In some ways, as you point out, with those new boots that are all one piece, the rule's not quite keeping up with the technology.
Well, I guess you look at it, really there is no rules as to where the boot should end. And that's where these companies are taking advantage of a little bit of sportsmanship and sponsorship right there from the boot company. Not bad at all.
Another logo or two.
They are terrific, though, I have to say. The boots nowadays, I've had a good look at a lot of the boots for the Copa America tournament, and they're just unbelievable.
Well, let me ask you this from a guy who used to stomp on his share of feet. Not a lot of protection out there anymore, is there?
There really is not, Phil. It's a great point to bring up. I mean, all companies out there who are producing new boots are trying to get lighter and lighter. The only way to do that is to use less and less leather.
Trying to sneak it through Martinez. Forgot something along the way. Haven't quite seen Fred explode on the offensive side, but he's done the hard work today, showing a bit of passion as well. Interesting here also, you see, not only has Miranda switched partners, he's switched sides, leaving Thiago Silva on his more comfortable right. beInSports.tv. Check out the website, find our special Copa America section, and feel free to jump in on Twitter and Facebook. Love to hear from you. Don't forget, there's that special contest as well where you could win a trip to the final. Less than a half hour to go. Half number 2. The goal in the 33rd from Firmino. Little kiss back by Nahar, but Miranda was there. Nice from Casemiro. Battling forward on the far side now. Fred back on his more natural right. Martinez, looks like for all that effort, the socks might have started to peel up again. Lifted forward to Fred, slicing in nicely Figueroa. Youngster out of Motagua. Baptism by fire. Could be a chance here on the break if it stays wide, but too close to Silva. So calm and composed.
Yeah, it's looking easy out there for Brazil right now. Honduras looking a little more tired as it's coming to the closing stages of this game. I think the weather conditions are not helping the players out there either. Heavy field. Brazil are starting to dominate the match with possession of the ball, and Honduras are sitting down, just allowing them to have possession. Good ball.
Lifted through, but defended again. Figueroa trying to retreat, but then steps up, leaves the door open. Firmino in for Fred. Valladares slaps it away. Shut the apron and then keeps it clean. Still 1-0. Nice from Casemiro, trickles away from Leveron, and again Valladares. The right hand of the Honduran keeper denies Neymar.
What a save. Terrific second touch from Neymar. He gets a little bit fortunate, the ball falls kindly into his left foot. It's a good enough strike, but an even better save from Valladares to push the ball round the post out for a corner kick. Great save.
Looking desperately for a second, slapped away Valladares, only to Fred, who couldn't quite control. Driven in, down goes the Honduran keeper, but cleared by the defense. Fabinho regroups.
This is where you want to see Brazil just up the tempo now, getting in preparation for Copa America. They've got an opportunity against a team that's starting to tire. Just up the game just somewhat. You've made 2-3 very good substitutions, fresh legs on the field. Can you take advantage of that?
Near side Neymar. Bekeles stepping up and now retreating. Hurdling the challenge of Palacios out wide far side. Trying to cut in Costa. Fred was waiting, but no. And as Brazil throwing bodies forward, that could open the door on the counter. But they retreat quickly. Nahad off the heels of the referee. Well, he is part of the field. A little too much.
Yeah, the worst part of the field. That's not good from the referee. Get out of the way. Lovely skill from Andy Nahar to come inside. We've seen a lot of times today from Honduras as they look to break away. Andy Nahar gets on the ball in the opposition half. He's looking for options around him with not many to see. Going for the simple pass there, and the referee just getting in the way.
Looks a little winded, does Gary Vargas. Of course, then again, Bolivian, you'd figure at altitude he'd be able to run for miles. But
yep.
Again, if he could keep up with Neymar and company, he'd probably still be playing. Bekeles to the
Good
inside.
football.
Nice from Honduras. Back for Martinez. Has to get rid of it and does. Far side, Izaguirre. He's got a cannon and he unleashes it. Lozano a little bump off balance, just enough to throw him off. Nice from Honduras, though. Still down by just a goal. Awkward challenge by Palacios. Here's Neymar. Trying to shut him down. And Figueroa again doing well. Palacios with a little extra effort.
Well, it's just that little extra nudge right here from Palacios. He's closing down well. No need to go into the challenge. Just be patient and wait for the opportunity. A little bit too eager to make that contact on Neymar.
Brazil players would not be surprised if many of them wake up early or at least have their girlfriend set the DVR. The under-20s in action in the wee hours against Uruguay, and that should be a duel in New Zealand. Wouldn't be surprised if they break out a few orcs. Portugal, New Zealand, Germany, Nigeria, Austria, Uzbekistan. Of course, Honduras is under 20s, making a few headlines as well, but not for a good reason. Get to that in a moment as Fabinho upfield. Drives it for Neymar, but just behind. Here's Fred. Back for Neymar, back towards Fred, but Bekeles pinching in well. The Honduran under-20s lost to Fiji. A 3-0 scoreline. All the bad luck in the world falling on the Catrachos on that day. But then they get pounded by Germany 5-1. They get back home to Honduras. The FA meets them at the airport and demands that they take off the warm-ups and put on their own clothes. It didn't really go over too well in the newspapers, and apologies made a bit, but obviously the Honduran FA thinks they could have done a bit better.
Yep, absolutely agree. How did the US get on, Phil?
Not sure. I have to check my DVR. That's loaded with the women, the men, the under-20s. I hope I can enjoy it later.
I think I was dreaming when I woke up this morning.
Man, what a week it's been. Especially if your name's Bobby Wood. Chance now for Neymar. Sneaks it inside, but just behind Firmino. Oh, nice through the legs of Casemiro. You might want to check your rearview mirror. Back to Fred. Silva. Fernandinho. The ex-Atletico Paranaense man. The Hurricane has to be used to the wind and rain. Past the midway point of half number 2.
Well, I think when you look at the situation, what happened with the under-20s from Honduras, it's understandable. They're trying to build something special, and after having so much success at the Olympics not many years ago, a lot of those players have now bled through into the full national team, and what comes around the corner is so important for your future success. So disappointment for everyone to see. Certainly the federation feels so with all the money that's been invested in them.
And in some ways, tough love, you could say. I guarantee you they'll play a bit more focused. Robinho getting some love shown, as it looks like he's about ready to check in. He's been hampered by a knee injury, but apparently healthy enough By the way, as he gets set to step on, stripping off his warm-up, talked about Brazilian success, the under-20s. What about the Women's World Cup as well? Offside the call. Marta getting crowned as the all-time leading goal scorer, and they still have some games to go.
Nice composed penalty kick in the game yesterday. It's been incredible, really, when you look at the leagues coming to an end, all the competitions that come up, Copa America, probably the most exciting of the lot of them, starting tomorrow. It's just incredible, all the action that happens for the national team players, and I'm sure there'll be a few tired legs out there.
Nice burst of speed by Lozano. Oh, to be 22 again. Battled, and it looked like he might have gotten the final touch, but the near side assistant, Wilson Arellano, says no. So it will be a corner kick for the Catrachos. And it looks like we've got another sub on the way. Robinho for Firmino, who exits with what would be a game-winning goal.
What an impressive performance from Firmino. Very versatile for this Brazilian lineup. He's a terrific talent, dropping off deep, playing as that last man up front. Not bad.
Driven across, punched away. Jefferson just got enough, but Honduras will regroup. Poor touch, though. Taken right back, Robinho into Neymar. Sounds strange, but it's understandable. So much depends on how you play with Neymar. Does it fit? And Firmino did today.
Terrific. Very good.
Of course, that's one of the ways Tardelli got in as well. It's not exactly a false nine by sticking those guys out there, but they're not really expected to score. Expected to hold up and wait for the cavalry. Although he scored a couple against Argentina and added another against Mexico. Now into the area, little push. Again, the whistle silent.
Phil, when you get handed a chance like that to play up front for Brazil, you have to be on the goal scoring sheet to really make a difference and stamp your place in that team. I think Firmino has done a terrific job today. He can play all across that midfield. Certainly showed today he can play up front as well. And we all know what he can do for Hoffenheim. Now started to show it for the national team as well.
By the way, Robinho, his 97th cap, and expect to see him cross the century mark in Chile. Looks like we could see a change for Honduras. Lozano gassed up front and still trailing by just a goal. Again, we're talking about a Brazilian team that might have won 9 in a row, just missing it. But if they lose one heading into Copa America, all those World Cup doubts are going to come flying back.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the pressure you get when you're one of the favorites going into a tournament like Copa America. And Phil, there is 5 or 6 countries who are out to try and win that tournament. It is going to be so competitive. Can't wait for it.
It will be Lozano coming out and Eric Andino checking in. Andino getting his 3rd cap for Honduras. 25-year-old midfielder out of Olympia. Would guess they will push Martinez and maybe even Najar up front. And Andino will slide into the mid, but right now having to track back on defense. Hurdling challenge from Leveron, but missed Neymar. Reclaimed by Robinho off the face of Leveron, and I'm not even sure he saw it coming.
Well, it's great to see him represent his country in such a fashion. Just close control of the ball is out on this planet. Not a bad effort at all. It looked like it was really going to test Valladares in the goal.
Robinho, of course, exiting Real Madrid for Manchester City. Back to Santos, to Milan briefly, and there was some thought that he might be headed to join Kaká at Orlando, but still Santos at the moment. Neymar on the ball as a buzz starts to build, and more substitutes getting set on both sides. Eddie Hernandez wearing white, and Marquinhos. So this interesting. Marquinhos, a center back by trade, but a right back by necessity for PSG. And that is where he will slot in under Brazil. So his versatility giving him some playing time here. And actually, it is Carlos Mejia who checks in for Nahar. In the box, falls for Neymar, blasted by Douglas Costa. Carlos Mejia, veteran out of Olympia in the midfield. All the way to the back post, touched inside, and Valladares slaps it in the mouth of goal, and it's cleared before Miranda can pounce. What a performance by the 38-year-old netminder.
Yeah, he's been terrific for Honduras. He's made some very important interceptions. Very good goalkeeper, obviously showing his experience in a match like this and keeping Honduras, only having conceded that one goal in the game.
Still just 1-0. Again, you take a look, that's been a common score line as this collision. We'll see a card as Fred goes down. What color will it be? Taking his time to get the yellow out. And in the book, Johnny Palacios, the first against Honduras.
That's a bad challenge. He catches him in the face more than anything else here, Phil. I think the Brazilian players are looking for a red card against Palacios. Clearly Neymar just having a little bit of fun, but he's fortunate to escape with only a yellow card.
And you can see actually what Neymar doing there, saying, hey, it's just a friendly. But there is pride on the line. Less than a quarter hour to go. Looks like... Is there any more? No, just bring the ball back, it appears.
Just look at the arm right there. It is a terrible challenge.
Elbow straight to the face of Fred.
Yeah, it's a bad challenge. There's just no need to make a challenge like that in matches, but often at times the moment gets the better of you.
Well, Bekeles again working on his Portuguese at Boa Vista. And showing off a bit with Neymar. 9 matches under Dunga since the World Cup. They have yet to lose. Mentioned only giving up goals in 2. And the most popular scoreline is 1-0. This would be the 4th, bar another goal. Kind of interesting. They are sticking Andino and his fresh legs a bit higher up. More of a midfielder for his club side. Felipe Luis sending it long. Headed back by Figueroa, who's had a good game. Nice control, Mejia. Andino dropping it back. Acosta up the line, little push from behind. Marquinhos. Play on, says the ref. It'll be a throw-in for Brazil.
I've been impressed with the Brazilians' mentality in this game, Phil. I think they're showing a great quality of strength. Their mentality has been very good. They want to win. They want to play for their national team. And they want to be very successful. That's going to do them very well going into Copa America. Still a lot more to come from this squad of players. Obviously, some names missing from the first 11. It'll be a different story. That's a good ball.
Sending it through, out by Valladares. He didn't get all. Give him credit, perhaps maybe realizing if he blasted it straight into Douglas Costa, it could have been worse, but it is a corner.
Yeah, well-timed run. It looks like he was just a fraction offside there. Douglas Costa, the goalkeeper, does well coming out.
Rain continuing to trickle down. Looking for the far corner, but just high. Costa.
Well, absolute intention to test the goalkeeper from that distance from Douglas Costa. Lovely left foot, good power, not enough accuracy to get it underneath that crossbar, but not a bad effort.
By the way, in case you're wondering why all of a sudden in recent years you've heard Shakhtar Donetsk in European play, yellow card against Robinho, you can probably figure it out by all the Brazilians that have or still do play there that are on display here today. Clash of 20s and Robinho in the book. There, the little collision. Elias checking in. And Fred will exit. Don't want to risk it regardless. Good game by Fred. Although 22-year-old, a substitute, maybe a spot start should Brazil get a good group start. Now Elias checking in. Former teammate of Miranda briefly at Atletico, but now back at Corinthians.
Sorry, Phil, that just interrupted. No, I think that when you look at the squad of players Brazil going into Copa America with, it is a very strong squad. They're going in to do some damage. They seriously want to compete and be in that final game. And you're going to need a very strong squad to do that. The competitive teams that are around in Copa America, it's quite incredible. It will be some tournament, and it's so difficult to pick a favorite from that tournament. Of course, Argentina is the first one that comes on the top of everyone's lips, but anything can happen.
Neymar not happy with the attack. Casemiro telling Martinez to calm down. It's not exactly the Hulk when Neymar gets angry, but just ask Juventus. Sometimes he tends to want to put on even more of a show.
The problem is, Phil, when you're playing around in the ball like that, you're inviting someone to make a challenge that's over-aggressive. And in games like this, against teams like Honduras, there's someone out there who's want to make a name for themselves and smack you one. Can't blame the players at all for wanting to get close and really get stuck into him.
Nice on the outside, but it's deflected. Izaguirre falls for Acosta. Honduras trying to get it under control. Flying in Palacios, reaching around and bringing down Costa.
That's a good decision from the referee. There's not much an advantage. Douglas Costa clearly being brought down. Palacios over-aggressive, already on a yellow card. I think the referee realized there's not much advantage to be played there. Right decision to blow for the free kick.
Copa America starting tomorrow. Chile against Ecuador. Check out beInSports.tv for all the details. Also the launch of our Starship Copa America. Have you seen that set?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, the festivities get underway early in the morning with an early Copa shot all the way through to midnight. It's terrific. Can't wait.
I'm sure Yoda and Obi-Wan are hiding in there somewhere. Next day, Mexico and Bolivia will round out the openers from Group A. On the 13th, it'll be Uruguay, Jamaica, Argentina, Paraguay. And on the 14th, Brazil starts against Peru while Colombia takes on Venezuela. Again, beInSports.tv. Check on the Copa America site for all you need to know. Neymar from about 25, 26 yards out. Valladares has been practically unbeatable. Strides, strikes, and just skims it wide. 5 saves for Valladares, but he didn't need to break out his dancing shoes this time.
That's a good 2 or 3 feet away. No trouble at all for Valladares. Disappointing effort from Neymar. Good height on the ball. Not enough accuracy. It's great to see him back representing his country. He loves playing for Brazil.
Well, last time these two teams met, as you mentioned, just a couple of years ago in Miami, Brazil winning by a 5 spot 5 spot. Carlos Disqua checking in. 30-year-old veteran out of Motagua. His 12th appearance. Bekeles, long ball, still time for Honduras to claim a scalp. And again, just one referee's whistle away. Long ball for Mejia. Looking for a foul that's not coming. Kind of interesting again with a new boss in town in Jorge Luis Pinto. Colombian veteran of the international wars. Many countries and clubs came calling after his performance with Costa Rica, but elected to go with Honduras. And we might find out in just over a month's time how early those dividends will come back in Gold Cup play.
I'm looking forward to watching this Honduran side in Gold Cup. Phil, I think they're a very good side, obviously missing some big names who are not there. But it is a squad that can really cause a lot of problems to many of the CONCACAF region teams.
Really looking for a replacement to Carlos Costly up front. Jerry Bengtson has been drawing more red cards than goals of late. Roches, perhaps. Ronnie Martinez not available here today. Lozano doing rather well, but nothing on the shooting variety. Jefferson really hasn't been tested much. The two best chance for Honduras as Casemiro goes down again was the shot that just skimmed past the post from Najar, and was it Martinez that sent it past the other? Regardless, still waiting for their first shot on goal. 4 minutes remain, and the final substitution for Honduras. Brian Garcia. The kid from Vida, just 20 years of age, making his Honduran debut. I was kind of thinking that Dunga might do the same for Jefferson, the young left back out of Internacional. Many of those Inter fans in their familiar seats here at the Berrio, but it's still Felipe Luis. Apologies from Figueroa. Neymar still looking for goal number 44. And again on the verge of 10 straight victories. Through, but a little too far afield. Marquinhos continuing to put the pressure on. Back to Valladares. Ball popped away from Disqua. Stepping in Palacios. Sooner or later they're going to have to find another goalkeeper, but not if Valladares has anything to say about it. Not a dominant physique either. He's only about 5'10".
Yeah, he just puts himself into the right places at the right time for Honduras. He's made some great saves tonight.
Long ball, maybe a chance for Neymar, but just slammed into the stands.
If anything, I'm a little disappointed. Honduras sort of took in their foot off the gas after Bonet Garcia's injury, conceding the goal and then stopped attacking. They created some good opportunities before they conceded the opening goal.
Say from a Brazilian perspective, you could argue you saw, even without Neymar, a bit more fight from them against Rafa Marquez in Mexico. So I guess credit to Pinto and Honduras defensively. But you're saying that they might have had a chance to walk away with at least part of a scalp.
Yeah, I think it's been a very successful match for Honduras. Good preparation. Of course, they've got Mexico before they do go into Gold Cup action. Well, with Copa America just around the corner, will Brazil be very happy with this performance? It's been okay, nothing spectacular, that's for sure. A lot of players have got some good minutes on the ball, and that's very important.
Nodded down. Palacios gets it wide. Here is Garcia giving Izaguirre a rest. Casemiro intercepts away from Disqua. And here comes Brazil again. Lots of white back, though. Good look at Thiago Silva as Brazil retreats. 90th minute underway. Some of the fans not happy with the patience. Neymar, always one to put on a show, trickles into the middle. And they're going to call a foul against Leveron. Looked like it could have been both players going for it, but a free kick for Brazil. And there you see, ref probably got it right.
Certainly got it right. But I think it's been very good for Brazil. A good warm-up match for Copa America. Offside there.
Robinho.
I mean, one thing's to keep in the back of your mind, the weather conditions in Chile certainly won't be favorable to many teams. Cold temperatures and some rain as well. So in that regard, it's been good preparation. The performance certainly not what that man would have hoped for, but there's only so much you can expect against a team that plays more defensive than not.
Well, Porto Alegre, just by the sea, in fact, right next to the Guaíba River, but in the lowlands, temperature still in the mid-60s, even with the rain. It had cooled a lot, but it's going to cool a lot more in Chile. Not only do you have that Humboldt current, which keeps things cold, but it will be winter, and don't be surprised to see some temperatures in the 30s and 40s before that tournament is over. Jefferson.
I hope you take your jacket when you're sitting in that commentary booth.
Now with all the hot air coming out from me and Ray, it might be nice and toasty.
Well, if it's anything like today, you might need to make it a rain jacket.
Fans making their way to the exits. 92nd minute, the goal in the 33rd. Beautiful from Firmino, but the fans thought there would be more. A few olays coming as Honduras passes it around. Almost derisive from some of the Brazilians. Celebratory from the Catrachos that have made the trek. Second thought. Slammed forward. Brazil under Silva regroups. Again long upfield, skims over Miranda, and it looks like Jefferson called him off at the last. Is this good enough for Dunga?
Well, you win the game. I think that's the most important thing. I don't think that many teams that will come out and try to play offensive football against Brazil. A lot of teams will try to be a little bit more defensively prepared. But Brazil need to be very careful because teams like Colombia can pose to be a big problem for them. The opening game, don't see too much problems against Peru, but you just never know. And a situation like this gets them prepared for that.
Nice run down the far side. Robinho cuts it back. Douglas Costa back for Robinho. Lots of Santos on display at the moment. Now Neymar, the pride and joy at the moment. Casemiro as Neymar pulled down just outside the box. And he's going to have a free kick. But getting in his face, Alfredo Mejia. And the yellow card against Mejia.
Well, there's the battle right there. Neymar's 50-50 in it as well. Both players getting stuck into it. Right in front of the referee, makes his decision. And then face to face, who said this was a friendly?
Mejia may be holding on, but there was a bit of swinging on both sides. Probably see even more fight for Brazil in a few days against Peru. This is a tournament coming up where Brazil has not had the dominance that you might expect. They've only won 8 Copa America crowns, far behind Uruguay and Argentina, who have split 29 nearly evenly. Although quite a drop-off to Paraguay and Peru with their 2 apiece. This might well be the final kick of the match. 23 yards and a blade of grass between Neymar and Valladares' net.
Well, it's probably the last opportunity of the match. Can they finish the game in style?
Neymar, stutter step, strikes, cleared, and the whistle blows. And more boos and whistles from the crowd. Victory for Brazil, thanks to Roberto Firmino. But the fans wanted more, and Honduras, maybe a defeat, but respect in it.
Yeah, certainly a lot of respect to the way Honduras tried to play their football, in particular the first 25 minutes of the game. Very, very good. Really tried to attack, and that's great to see.